Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Ministry of Tourism starts the Sultanate's winter tourism plan, and a chartered flight from Germany lands in Salalah Airport. The tenders for the first phase of the Saraya Bandar Al Jissa project, worth more than 150 million Omani Riyal, are awarded. The Higher Education Admission Center reveals that more than 10,000 male and female students left their studies during the year 2014-2015. And the total quantity of unloaded fish by artisans in the Sultanate reaches 102,497 tons until the end of last April. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. The Ministry of Tourism started working on the winter tourism plan as the climate around the Sultanate starts to change. Earlier, a chartered flight from Germany arrived at the Salalah airport with 310 passengers on board. The winter season in the Sultanate, and especially in the Governorate of Dhofar, witnesses an increase in the number of European tourists. The winter season in Jebel Al-Akhdar witnesses low temperatures, as is Jebel Shams in the Wilayah of Al-Hamra, which is about 3,000 meters above sea level and is considered a touristic destination for many visitors. During the season, tourists also travel to the sands in the Governorate of South Sharqiya. Meanwhile, for sea adventurers, there is the Mazira Island, which is a quiet and peaceful island in the Arabian Sea. The tenders for the first phase of the Saraya Bandar Al Jissa project, worth more than 150 million Omani Riyal, were awarded. The project came as a partnership between Saraya Oman Company and the Omani development company Omran. The work on the project is progressing well, as some housing units in the area are about to be completed. The area of the project is located around the Hajar Mountains, reaching Bandar Al Jissa beach. It is one of the biggest projects which goes along with the government's approach to enhance the infrastructure in the tourism sector so as to diversify the national income resources of the country. It also seeks to attract tourists and business people. The project is expected to provide around 800 job opportunities. It is worth mentioning that it comprises of 398 luxurious housing units and villas on the hills overlooking the Sea of Oman, in addition to 2 5-star hotels and an entertainment center. More than 10,000 male and female students left their studies during the year 2014-2015 without completing the semesters. The data from the Statistics Department at the Admission Center showed that 30% of students left due to personal conditions, while 25% of them left their studies for academic reasons. More than 25% of the students gave no reasons to curtail their studies, and another 25% were not keen on finishing the studies, as some of them were employed prior to their schooling, while some left for financial and health reasons and sudden demise. 53% of the students who left the studies were from private higher education institutions, compared to 46.7% from governmental higher education institutions. Still to come in our news bulletin. Fish market in the Wilayah of Sohar is a favorite landmark for consumers. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Oman Oil Refineries and Petroleum Industries (ORPIC) will celebrate on 10th of October 2016 the laying of the foundation stone for the construction works at Liwa Plastic Project, whose engineering, procurement and construction contracts cost about $4.5 billion and will become operational by 2020. Liwa Plastics Industries Complex in Sohar is the biggest industrial project in the Sultanate. The project's feasibility study points out that it will contribute by 2 to 3% of the Sultanate's gross domestic product and will increase the contribution of ORPIC projects to the GDP to 9% by 2020. The project will also create about 1,000 direct job opportunities in addition to more than 12,000 indirect job opportunities. The total quantity of the fish unloaded by artisan fishing in the Sultanate reached 102,497 tons by the end of last April, compared to the figures recorded during the same period last year that reached 102,447 tons. According to statistics issued by the National Center for Statistics and Information, the total value of fish unloaded by artisan fishing in the Sultanate during the same period reached 75.96 million Omani Riyal, with a 26.7% increase compared to the figures recorded last year, when it reached 59.94 million Riyal. The highest quantity of unloaded fish was recorded in the Governorate of South Sharqiya, with a quantity of 27,363 tons, followed by the Governorate of Al-Wusta with 27,131 tons. The Governorate of Dhofar came third with 17,892 tons, while the Governorates of South and North Al-Batina came fourth with 14,433 tons. 434 tons of lobster, 64 tons of shrimp, and 638 tons of cuttlefish were unloaded last April. The Ministry of Civil Service showed in statistics that around 156,000 of Omani employees constituted 86% workforce in the civil service sector in 2015, while non-Omani employees that work in the same sector exceeded 24,600, which formed about 14% of the total employees number. The statistics mentioned also an increase in the number of Omani employees, with 784 compared to 2014, while the number of non-Omani employees increased to 637, mostly in educational service jobs and their assistants, in addition to medical and general health. Female employees with civil service units formed about 48% of the total number of employees. It also showed that the ministries of education and health acquired the highest number of workers, with 69%. Sohar Fish Market is one of the most significant markets for citizens and residents of the wilaya and neighboring areas that provides them with various types of fish. Local fish represent the main source of the market, in addition to some neighboring markets. The market witnessed an active movement after big quantities of different types of fish were brought to the fish market during this period. The quantity of fish in the market will contribute to enhancing the fishing sector, as the Sohar market is considered one of the best to provide high-quality fish. Within the aim to encourage the farmers to exert more efforts and to promote the Omani dates, a dates festival was organized by the citizens in the Wilaya of Dank in the Governorate of Dahira. The exhibition included various types of dates from a number of wilayas in the Sultanate. The visitors of the festival will have the opportunity to taste the delicious Omani dates and sweets mixed with nuts and chocolate. The festival also aimed to open new internal markets in various governorates to facilitate dates marketing process and provide an opportunity for farmers to exchange expertise in the field. And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with cloud accumulation and scattered rainfall over the Hajar Mountains. Winds will be east to northeasterly light to moderate over the coasts of Sea of Oman, while on the rest of the coast will be south to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight to moderate along most of the coasts with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Ministry of Tourism starts the Sultanate's winter tourism plan, and a chartered flight from Germany lands in Salalah Airport. The tenders for the first phase of the Saraya Bandar Al Jessa project, worth more than 150 million Omani Riyal, are awarded. The Higher Education Admissions Center reveals that more than 10,000 male and female students left their studies during the year 2014-2015. And the total quantity of unloaded fish by artisans in the Sultanate reaches 102,497 tons until the end of last April. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.